Hey guys, welcome back to the World of Mithril. I am Corey, the owner of the World of Mithril and the creator of Encounter. With me is my beautiful wife. She's going to be playing Armor Killer for us. She has no idea how to play, which you guys do not either, which is why we're here. So I will be teaching her and subsequently you how to play Encounter. So let's get into the game. I am playing the scripter today. We are going to be starting our campaign very soon, so you get to see exactly how that gameplay works for us. She will also be playing Encounter. Um, she will also be playing the Dictator.
The Dictator.
The Dictator. She will be playing the Dictator. Okay, we won't be editing that out because it was funny. So, like I said, she doesn't understand how to play. So we will be taking frequent breaks to explain exactly how the game works, especially if she has any questions um, on the game. Yes. So, first thing we will do is roll our initiatives. Now, since this is a pre-made game for us, she will not have to roll the initiative. But typically, what you would do is you would take um, your initiative bonus that's laid out. You would roll your d20 like such, and you would add that to your initiative bonus, and you would write that beside each character. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And then you would add in any bonuses you get from your artifacts or any type of speed bonuses that the character initially has. So we are going to write down just some arbitrary numbers that doesn't reflect the actual abilities of the characters. So, Chrissy, go ahead and write number 1 for your diver here.
Okay.
I will write, now remember how fast we are. You will write number 2 here.
Okay. For my Sudosa?
Yep. And this will be 3. This is for my Malou.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know I have really slow characters. So I know that my Chevaliers should go 4 and 5. Now, typically they would be near the end. But so I don't get absolutely crushed by my wife and to be embarrassed, they will be going right then and there. So you put 6 here.
Yep. My Jagoon.
Yep, your Jagoon. And I would be putting, let's see, 7 for my Martyr.
Okay.
And then you put 8 for one of your Hekkas.
And 9 for the other.
And 9 for the other, because she's cheating now. And then I will put 10 here. So now we know what order we will be in. Now, as you can see, Encounter is typically played with 5 characters on each side. Now, if you are in a campaign and you are using your general, the general is the only class that is allowed to have more than 5 characters. It's allowed to have 6, including the general. Now, if your general dies, your campaign is over. So keep that in mind once you go into battle. Do not make any risky mistakes with your general. So, with that being said, we're going to get into the game. Now that we have our initiatives ready, you are number 1 with your diver. Now, she is going to take a second to pick an ability to use. Do you remember which ability your diver can use? Okay, so it should have an option on your cheat sheet.
You didn't label them.
I didn't label them?
No.
So now she is going to attack with her legend.
Mm-hmm.
So pick an attack.
Okay, my legend is going to use 2 action points.
Okay, she's going to use 2 action points. Okay, who against are you going to use your action points?
I'm going to use my action point against the...
You can only pick the front.
Okay, so this one here.
Okay.
The Chevalier.
Yep, the Chevalier.
And I'm going to use the ability Crack the Armor.
Okay, she's going to use Crack the Armor.
And what Crack the Armor does is it reduces the opponent's guard rate by 80% before attacking. If the character target is in plate armor, I add a d20 to the attack roll. So I'm going to attack.
So as you see, she's going to use Crack the Armor, which is a perfect strategy against the Chevaliers who are naturally in plate armor. They are constantly, the entire civilization is engineering profusely to get plate armor. So obviously I designed both teams, and that was still a perfect play to use. So she's going to reduce my guard by 80%. Now what that means is usually the Chevalier's guard rate is over 70%. And that almost guarantees that he will always reduce damage down to 1 point. Well, physical damage. Reducing your guard rate in such a way takes away that automatic heavy guard for the Chevalier. So now that she's reduced my guard rate so far, I have to roll a 1 to 5. And you automatically get to roll for evasion and guard rate anytime you're attacked. Did you raise? You raised your 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So since she has attacked me, I'm going to roll to guard first. And remember, I have to roll 1 through 5. And I rolled at 18. So we're going to roll for evasion. Since the Chevalier has a negative penalty against evasion due to plate armor, they have to also roll 1 through 5. And I rolled a 13. I'm taking full damage. Now, the way damage works is roll your d20.
Oops, sorry. 5.
So she's going to tack that onto her damage. Now, what you'll see here, unlike other games, you do not have to roll for damage. Your damage is already inherently baked in. So it's usually your strength plus your bonuses. Now, let's say the diver has a strength of 20. That's what we'll go off of right now. They have ambiguous levels right now. So your strength, your health, all your abilities is based on what promotion level your character is. So let's say, for the sake of teaching, that they do 20 damage to us, and then we'll add that 5. So my Chevalier takes 25 full damage when he would normally only take 1. Now, she has passive abilities that she can use. Since she is on offense and her attack landed, she has what we call another initiative. So she's going to pick what type of passive ability she wants to use here. Now, if you use a passive ability, the character attacking cannot use passive abilities since they just used their action point. So she has to pick another character anywhere on the grid to attack the same character or apply effects to my team.
So my Sudosa here is going to use... One moment. Let me look at my sheet.
I assume you're going to use Battlemaster from your PP ability list.
Yes.
Okay, so what does that say?
So Battlemaster says, follow up on ally attack with a devastating slash. Gain 1 action point if the attack lands. It costs 1 passive point.
Okay, so since she has reduced my guard rate by 80%, that is still in effect to the next round. So I have to again roll for guard and for evasion. And remember, I have to roll 1 through 5. A 10 for my guard rate. Now let's roll for our evasion. That is a 19. If I was playing a different game, I'd be rolling pretty right now. But of course, whenever you want to roll a 1, you cannot. So my Chevalier also takes devastating damage, again based off strength and bonuses. So let's say for a total, he has taken another 25 damage. He is in trouble. Luckily, since he is a knight class, he gets bonuses to his health. So his health pool is relatively large. He's sitting at about, let's say, 10 health. Um, that damage was enough to kill off any other character other than knights, usually. Now she has gained another ability point, but that point goes to her Sedosa. So he goes from 2 all the way up to 3. Now, typically at a promotion 1 level character, you will have about 4 AP or 4 PP to work with. So don't worry about, storing AP so much. Use it as much as you can. Use those big abilities and try to reduce the health pool of the other team as much as possible. Now, she has the Sedosa is up next. Even though he just attacked with the PP, he is able to go again because in his initiative list, he is listed as second. So that's one thing you will notice within the game. AP and PP don't really intersect that much. Just because you use PP does not mean your turn is forfeit. So go ahead and use it as much as possible. Try to gain as much edge and advantage as you can. So she's going to use her AP for Sedosa. What ability are you going to use?
Blunt force trauma on this one here.
So she's going to attack my second Chevalier with blunt force trauma. Can you please tell us what that devastating ability does?
Attacks an enemy with a ferocious head strike.
Okay. How much AP does it cost?
Didn't put it.
So
I'm gonna guess 1.
It costs 1 AP. Now I know that blunt force trauma causes, I believe it adds another AP onto your, it adds another D20 onto your attack. If a character is in plate armor, no, I believe it causes stun. If the character is in plate armor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's of course if it lands. So we are going to guard. Now this time, since she's using an ability that does not reduce my guard rate, I need to roll anywhere between a 1 and a 14 to get a heavy guard, since my character's guard is at 70 and above. So we're going to roll for guard. And I rolled a 7. So that blunt force trauma will do 1 damage to me. However, since she landed the attack, the ability still goes through and this character will be stunned. Now, you've noticed I have not used any PP abilities. We will rectify that now. After she uses a PP ability if she wants to. You do not have to use them.
No.
She will not be using any PP abilities, but I will. Now, what I will use is Cauterize. And what that will do is end any debuff that was applied to me this turn. So I have now reduced the, I've taken the stun off my Chevalier. Now, as you would know, it is now my initiative to go. This is my Malou. Now, he is a unique class, and they adhere to different rules. One of the disadvantages of a Malou is that they do not promote. So this character is actually behind the curve, but you get a lot of boons if you use them correctly. So my Malou will be using Blood Rose. Now what Blood Rose will do is we would sacrifice our remaining PP to create a red rose. That will, we will then throw that rose to the enemy team. Pick 2 opponents to lose PP equal to what you lost. So what we will do is, since this is a Sahir ability, which is not a physical attack on any character, you can pick any row to attack them with. So what I will do with that ability is I'm going to pick her 2 Heka here. So they are now going to lose 2 of their PP. So I'm going to take away I'm going to take away all of my PP. As you can see, this is a very costly ability for me.
And both of my Heka lose 1 PP.
No, they both lose 2.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
So while both her had to lose both their PP, which is an important thing to do to backline characters, I have to sacrifice 1 AP and both my PP to make it happen. But it is worth it to make sure I survive. Now, per the rules, is also my chance to increase all allies' initiative by 10. Now, what that means is I'm going to use a PP ability from my Saint here, and I'm going to increase all of my characters' initiative by 10. Now, here's the very important distinction that you don't see in a lot of games. Right in the middle, we are now going to change everyone's initiative. So my martyr now goes up. Let's say her initiative came up to 32 and the Dragoons came up to 34. Since I've increased my initiative for her is now 44. So she's going to jump 4th in line. Everyone on my team gets the same bonus. So we all move up. Let's say we're going to push all of her characters back behind mine, except for the Saint here, because her initiative is extremely slow. So now that I've pushed up, which one was your 4th one? Oh, that was me.
Yeah, you were.
Okay, so that technically pushes my Chevalier to 3, which, as you can see, will tie my Malou. And that will push him to 2. Now, for the next round, her Sedosa will be pushed to 3, while my Malou will be pushed to 2. And then we'll see exactly what our initiative bonuses are there before we move her Sedosa or move my Chevalier to 4th. So you can see how big of a bonus that is for 1 PP. So let's change that on our Saint to make sure I am not cheating. Handwriting is terrible because I have big hands. Now, now as you can see, I have now forced my team to go next, and that would be my Tour Bouclier. And he is going to use, I should use Blunt Force Trauma, but he's going to use Ward Them Off. Now, what does Ward Them Off mean? Actually, we're going to take that and change it. Before you actually commit to attack, make sure you change it before you actually do it. Once you attack someone, there's no takesies backsies. So we're going to use Protect Your Square. Now, Protect Your Square is rushing the opponent, bash an opponent so they remember their place. So we're going to bash whoever is next in line for her. And unfortunately for her, it is the Dragoon. So we are going to stun the Dragoon so that he cannot go this round. Unless she has a PP ability that would help her out of this situation. I do not think she does.
I do.
She does have an ability. Tell us what that ability is.
I have the passive ability Cauterize, which says end any debuff you were afflicted with this turn.
So she has the ability Cauterize, which you seen me use earlier to end a debuff, but unfortunately that's going to have to wait. As you remember, I have the initiative because I am now on offense, and I'm going to use Battle Master. And what Battle Master does, as you heard earlier, is you follow up with a devastating strike if it lands. So, since he is stunned, he cannot guard or dodge. She does not have to roll. So, I'm going to use my Martyr here to attack her Dragoon, it automatically lands for 25 damage. Now you can see how these abilities can stack up and do devastating damage. So what we need to do, obviously, is change our PP. So we're going to change that and that. She is at 3 AP now and 1 PP. Now, for the sake of showing off how every ability works, I want to show you guys some combos, some triggers, how things can be utilized. So we are going to jump ahead to Chrissy's team. I'm going to let her go. Even though it's next is still my turn, we're going to let her attack anyway so we can show off for the last round how the Heka works. Mm-hmm. So she's going to find a Heka AP ability, use that against my team so you can see what kind of effects Saheer does to the game.
So I'm going to use this Heka that still has 2 AP.
They both do.
I know they both do. I'm just making sure.
Okay.
And use the ability Blood.
Okay, she's going to use Blood. How much AP is that?
That is 1 AP cost. And what it does is opens a wound on an ally causing bleed for 1 round. But they gain 25 health points.
Okay, which character are you going to use that?
My Dragoon.
Okay, she's going to heal the damage I did to him with my follow-up damage, which is unfortunate. But the way Blood works is that next round, at the end of the Dragoon's turn, he will take blood damage. So, but I do know the Heka has a passive that reduces that to half. So you are taking on risk, but you're mitigating some of those risks for short-term gains, which is a very smart thing to do. Now, since you are on offense, what passive abilities can you use for your team?
None. I have no passive points.
Your Heka don't. You still have 3 other characters that have passive points.
Right. I forgot that you can use your other players.
Indeed. You can use your whole team.
Points. You can use the whole team. Let's see. I think I will use... My Diver is going to use Crush. Which says, before your next attack, you reduce your opponent's guard rate by 20 for 1 round.
Okay. So, which character are you going to reduce my guard rate?
I'm going to reduce... And this can be any row.
This can be any row.
Okay. I'm going to reduce this one back here.
Okay. So, lucky for me, my wife has chosen with no ranged characters to target a backline character that can't be damaged anyway. So, what you need to understand about this game is that any mistake can cost you. What I would have done and what you should do is you should have reduced this character's guard. Now, the reason why you reduce this character's guard because this for this round is reduced by 80%. He can barely guard himself. The Toolbook Lear on this side, as you saw earlier, whenever he was attacked, he reduced that damage to 1. Now, she had an opportunity to also reduce his armor to about 50. And that would take away my chance to heavy guard and only do medium guard. So, she has then targeted my Saint, who can't be hit without ranged characters or Saheer right now anyway. So, I got a lucky break. Now, with that being said, we've shown off all aspects of what Encounter can do. All the combinations that you can use in between characters, how you can use them, how the rules work. One thing I would like to show off is we have this lineup you can see that's easily trackable. One of the things I came across with most games is that you had trouble erasing your character sheets, your squad sheets. We want to make sure that we gave you an opportunity to basically keep your game clean. We also have character sheets, which we didn't use for this game, but we also have squad sheets. And what that will do is allow you to be able to keep up with any of your bonuses, what exactly your squad is meant to do, those sort of things. So, as you can see, even with her armor killer team, she did not kill off my characters. So, you are able to pull off a lot of intricate squad dynamics if you build your team the way you want to. There's no right way to play, but the only way I want you to play is actually play, if that makes any sense. Now, I would like to thank my wife for playing with us. She's new to any strategy games, and still raw to any tabletop games outside of Dungeons and Dragons. So I thank her for helping me do this show for you guys. And I love to see you guys following the channel and keeping up with our journey. Thank you.